What it is, my G's. My name is DJAvenger, aka Rain, and today we trying to find out who's better, Derrick Rose versus Penny Hardaway. Before we get into it, you know what to do to support the channel. Like, subscribe, and tag it on the wall. Let's slide. Derrick Rose and Penny Hardaway are two of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history. One achieved MVP status while the other was an important piece to the '95 Orlando Magic team that made it to the NBA Finals. They both were all-stars and were on their way to becoming superstars until the injury gods came through and turned their legs into spaghetti. Neither one of them ever reached their peak after they were plagued by injuries. Derrick Martell Rose was born on October 4th, 1988 in Chicago, Chirac, Illinois. He grew up in one of the most dangerous areas in Chicago on the south side. When he started high school, he would play for Simeon Career Academy. He wore number 25 to honor former player Benji Wilson, who was killed in 1984. In 2006, D. Rose's team was playing for the state championship. In the last seconds of the game, D. Rose stole the ball from an opposing player and hit the game winner to win the chip. Coming out of high school, D. Rose was highly recruited. Sports Illustrated ranked him 5th in his class. Eventually, he chose to attend the University of Memphis to play for coach John Calipari. D. Rose switched his jersey number from 25 to 23 because the number 25 was retired for Penny Hardaway. As a freshman, he led the Memphis Tigers to a 38-2 record. The Tigers made it all the way to the NCAA championship game but lost in overtime. On April 15th, 2008, D. Rose chose to leave college and declared for the NBA draft. He would go on to be drafted first overall by the Chicago Bulls. He would go on to win Rookie of the Year and, along with his team, pushed the defending champion Celtics to 7 games in the first round before being eliminated. The next year, D. Rose led his team again to the playoffs but would get eliminated in the first round. In the 2010-2011 season, Rose and the Bulls finished with a 62-20 record, their best record since MJ's last season with the Bulls when he was violating the league from mid-range with the fadeaway. That same year, Rose would win the NBA MVP honors and would be the youngest MVP of all time. In the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, his Bulls would face the Pacers and the Hawks. Both teams got their chin slid to the left. Unfortunately, LeBron, D-Wade, and the Heat pulled up looking like Rambo in the jungle, and they packed the Bulls up in 5 games. Rose still averaged 27 for that series, but his percentages dropped to below 40. That offseason, he signed a $94 million contract with the Chicago Bulls, but luck would be a cruel witch. A cruel witch indeed. After having a good season, being an all-star for the second time and making the playoffs again, he and his team would face off against the Sixers in the first round. In the fourth quarter of the game, with less than 2 minutes, Rose drove to the paint and did a jump stop. He jumped again but crashed to the floor holding his knees. By the looks on his and his teammates' faces, you knew that it was bad. Rose would come back in 2013 but would tear his meniscus and be out for that season again. He would come back the next year, play 51 games, but would need another knee surgery. Eventually, he would get traded to the Knicks, play for the Wolves where he dropped 50, y'all remember that, the Pistons, and back to the Knicks where he was the only player to play well in the 2021 playoffs against the Hawks before they got spanked and packed and sent home fishing. Anthony Dion Penny Hardaway was born on July 18th, 1971 in Memphis. Penny grew up playing ball in Memphis. In high school, he averaged 36 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. Eventually, Penny chose to stay home and attend the University of Memphis. He would be forced to sit out his first year though because he was academically ineligible. During that year, Penny was shot in the foot during a robbery. Fortunately, it did not affect his playing career. Skipping to his junior year in college, Penny averaged 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. That year, he would skip the fall semester to enter the NBA draft. Penny was drafted 3rd overall by the Golden State Warriors, who traded him and 3 future first-round picks for Chris Webber. Side note, Webber always talked about what could have been if he would have played on the Magic with Shaq. The Magic always intended to go with C-Webb until Penny showed them in some workouts why they should go with him instead. As a rookie, Penny helped the Magic to win 50 games. The next season, the Magic would win 57 games. Penny averaged 21.7 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals while becoming an All-Star and first-team All-NBA selection. That year, they defeated the recently unretired MJ and the Bulls, but would get packed up and ran through by Hakeem and the Houston Rockets in 4 games. Penny still averaged 25 points on 50% shooting. The next season, Shaq would be crippled for 22 games, but Penny led the team to a 17-5 record, averaging 27.6 rebounds and 6 assists. Eventually, Shaq came back and the Magic won 60 games. That year, Penny finished third in MVP voting and made first-team All-NBA again. They would make it to the Eastern Conference Finals this time, getting put in the dirt 6 feet under by The Undertaker and the wrath of Air Jordan. That offseason, he would get knee surgery to repair damage caused earlier in the playoffs. Penny said that he felt it robbed him of his athleticism and explosiveness. Plus, Shaq would leave Orlando for the Lakers. Even though he was nagged by injuries the next season, Hardaway still averaged 20 and made third-team All-NBA. Down 0-2 to the Heat in the playoffs in a best-of-5 series, Penny dropped 40 in back-to-back games to help tie the series at 2 each. He scored 33 in Game 5, but the Heat still managed to win. In 97-98, he missed most of the season with a knee injury. He came back in the lockout season of 99 and averaged 15 points. After that year, he would be traded to the Suns for 2 bums, 2 first-round picks, and some faux posits, and 2 half-smoked black and miles. In his first season with the Suns, Penny averaged 17, 6, and 5. Penny led the Suns past the defending champion Spurs, but got manhandled, ragdolled, and punished by Shaq, Kobe, and the Lakers in the next round. He would miss most of the 2000-2001 season because of 2 surgeries to his knees. In 01-02, J. Kidd got traded to the Nets for Stephon. There is no such thing as a bad shot, Marbury. The Suns also added Joe Johnson, which put Penny on the bench. In 02-03, he averaged 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. The next year, he got his pink slip and got sent packing to the Knicks. In 04-05, he would deal with injuries again. In 05-06, he would play only 5 games. Then he got traded back to the Magic, but he got waived by coach Brian Hill, who Penny helped get fired during his first stay with the Magic. In 07, he would sign with the Heat, but he got waived to make room for an equipment manager, whoever the hell that guy is. So the question is, who's better? A lot of y'all might think it's obvious, D Rose, because he's an MVP and Penny isn't, but it's closer than y'all might think. Here's why. Penny has 2 first-team All-NBA awards. D Rose has 1. Penny made 3 total All-NBA teams. D Rose made 1. D Rose got Rookie of the Year and MVP. Penny didn't, but Penny is a 4-time All-Star while D Rose is a 3-time All-Star. So even though D Rose has an MVP and Roy, Penny has more All-Star and All-NBA selections. For their careers, Penny averaged 15 points, D Rose 19. Penny averaged 1 more rebound and 1 more steal per game, while Derrick averaged half an assist more. Their field goal and 3-point percentages are virtually the same. D Rose is a slightly better free throw shooter. I also have to mention the fact that they are very much different players. D Rose is 6'2", but was the most athletic point guard at his height of all time, along with Westbrook. He relied heavily on his speed, hops, and power to get in the lane and score over bigger defenders. Penny was 6'7", 215. With his length, he could guard 1 through 3 and was more of an overall playmaker defender who could score. Obviously, D Rose's 2011 season was better than any of Penny's, but Penny was able to sustain his prime longer. But the story isn't even over for D Rose. He re-signed in 2021 with the Knicks for 3 more years and seems to be a player who might start again. So for this one, I'm gonna leave it to y'all. Would you take D Rose's MVP and Roy over Penny having success for longer and playing in the finals? Who to you is better? Like I said at first, this might seem obvious, but I don't think it is. But y'all decide. Like my Derrick Rose comment for D Rose, or like my Penny comment for Penny. And I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Let me know if y'all like the video so I could continue to do these more. My name is DJ Avenger, aka Rain. Catch y'all on the flip side. Gone.